Hey everybody, welcome to another action-packed, exciting episode of Scotty's Record Shop. On this particular episode, by the way, the episodes have been few and far between lately, haven't they? It's life happens. So get them when I can, get them out when I can. So we are going to do a request for a friend of mine, Roger, Rock and Raj, wanted me, I believe, if I remember correctly, because it was several months ago, he'd mentioned he wanted me to do a ranking of the studio albums by The Who. And sorry it's taken so long to get to this. It's just, like I said, life is life, right? We all have them. Things happen. So anyway, have a pile of CDs here. Nice little pile here of stuff we're going to go through. I have most of this stuff, with the exception of the last two albums on vinyl as well. But I'm up here today in the little CD area, so that's what we're gonna do. No live albums and no compilations. And there might be a few hot takes in this. This is what I'm currently. This is like the best in order, of Who albums. The worst that most people would think is the worst, and then the best that most people would think is the best, although it kind of will end up being that way. This is just what I like, what I'm listening to now, how I feel today. With the bottom half, it's pretty in stone, but the upper half, some of that stuff, with the exception of probably number one, interchangeable a little bit. So anyway, let's get into it, okay? Shall we? By the way, if you want to chime in the comments, let us know what you think the best Who album is, or the worst Who album, in your opinion. Don't mind me. I'm still trying to deal with a cold here. I think everybody's getting colds and weird things this winter. Tough winter. But anyway, okay. So let's get into it. My least favorite, and we'll call it that. I won't say the worst. My least favorite, and it has been, and probably always will be, is this Endless Wire. Their second to the last album. What kills this for me is the first half. It's very sedate. It doesn't work for me. The second half of the CD gets a little better, but it's just, I don't know. I was really excited. I think a lot of people were excited when we heard there was going to be a new Who album coming out. I mean, this was the first studio album since what, 82? It's hard. Was it 82? 83? So I was excited, and then this came out, and I was like, oh okay, guys. But there are a few good songs on here. It's not a complete throwaway, but my least favorite, the album Endless Wire. Speaking of it's hard, a lot of people put this down towards the bottom too. It's a better album. I like Athena. I don't mind that song. Eminence Front is great. There are a few other really good songs on here. It seems to rock a little more than the album that came out before, Face Dances, which is going to come a little later on. But not a bad album. It's just, you're missing Keith on this album. You definitely are. I think the spark was really gone. But an okay album. Next one is their last album, simply titled Who. I kind of like this album. They're trying to go back to the old. I mean, there's only two members left here, but they're trying to make an old time, for the most part, Who album. And they kind of succeed. Some of the songs on here are actually pretty good. What is really missing from this and from this is the rhythm section. John Entwistle and Keith Moon, if they would have been alive and on this would have been a lot better. But this is not bad. I mean, I remember when we heard this one was going to come out, I was thinking Endless Wire Part 2, and it was like, oh God. But this was pretty good. Pretty darn good. And you can get this pretty cheap. I mean, I got these literally These last two, I did not get these. I streamed them when they first came out, but I, eventually got them, and I got them for like $2-3 each. So not bad. Okay, moving on with this is going to be a hot take for some of you. There's some great stuff on this album, but I just cannot fully embrace it. And I've tried, and I've had, and we're like 51 years on now, and I still. The Who by Numbers, some great songs on here, but you want to say hi? I'll put you down. Let's say hi. Get over here, silly. Say hi to everybody. This is Junebug. Right, baby girl? She's a good kitty cat. Anyway, Roger Daltrey said this was Pete Townshend's suicide note. Put the vinyl. And it's a pretty dark at times album. At times. This band was going through a lot at this time. There was a massive amount of substance abuse and depression and frustration and it came out on this, and you wouldn't know it by the hit single Squeezebox, which is a upbeat kind of song, but there's some other stuff on here that's just like, wow. I've tried. A lot of people are like, this is really, really, really a great album. It's one of their best albums. And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. It's not a bad album, but it's not in the upper level for me at all for them. So anyway, Who by Numbers. Next one's going to be a hot take too, kind of, sort of, I think. People put this album low. Really low. First album without Keith Moon. And, Space Dances. I like this album. And I think this is a sentimental thing too. I know that this is not a great album artistically and everything else, but this was an album. It's not the first album by The Who that I bought when it came out. It was the second, but I just have this sentimental, attachment to this thing, being 13 or whatever I was when this came out, 13, 14, and I dug it. Yeah, it doesn't have Keith Moon. It doesn't have that fire anymore. But I'll be honest with you, the album that came out before this, the fire was leaving because Keith was sick. So, but anyway, I like this album. You Better You Bet, The Quiet One. This isn't a bad album. Next one was the before mentioned, or semi before mentioned, Who Are You? The last album with Keith. And it was the first album that I ever bought on vinyl by The Who. Back in '78 when it came out, I loved Who Are You? Excuse me. And it was like, wow, this is a good album. Or a good song. And I bought it, and I again, as a 12-year-old, I don't even remember how old I was, 12, 13-year-old, I played it over and over and over and over and over again. And yes, again, maybe it's not top tier Who, but there's that sentimental connection. And it's the last thing that Keith ever did. And he was not on top form. He was so sick at this particular point in time. His alcoholism had really ravaged him. So in that respect, and of course everybody points out the chair that he's sitting on, and what it says, which is really ominous. And now that we know differently, or better, it's ominous and it's sad. But a good album. The 50th, the mega box set that they put out recently. I have it on digital format. I didn't buy the actual, didn't have the money, but that was really kind of cool too. Lots of live stuff and outtakes and different mixes of the album and stuff. So it's really, really cool. So, Who Are You? This is early Who. I love early Who. I just thought that they were so on fire and they just rocked out, And this is a great album. A quick one. And this has what could be the first, people say, well, this is the first kind of mini opera type thing, a quick one while he's away. This is just great, great stuff. 1966, I believe this was originally. 1966. Kind of curious if there's an expanded version of this, because I've got expanded versions of other early Who albums, which you're going to see on CD, but really good. Really, really good stuff by The Who right there. A quick one. This is, some people will think this is a little low. This record, this goes up sometimes and then comes down and then goes up and comes. Right now it's kind of down a little bit, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. But I'm not. If you watch my channel, you know that I'm not a huge fan of double albums. Rarely have I seen a double album or heard a double album, for me personally, that is just drop dead from beginning to end. Just doesn't usually happen for me. There's always some stuff on pretty much all double albums, no matter how great they are. We could live without that, But in this one, there's some stuff on here that just kind of, there's some unbelievable stuff here. I'm talking about Quadrophenia. A great album. And, in a couple of weeks, this could be up a little higher too, so don't be offended that it's where it is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's fifth on my list. Fifth from the top, so it's still good stuff. Anyway, Quadrophenia. I think this is a cool album. One of these expanded 2 CD sets. This is just kind of cool with all the little Pam's type little commercials and the was it Radio Caroline or whatever that they were using, stuff on here. Who Sellout has one of my favorite Who songs too, which is I Can See for Miles. I just think that is such a, and that's also in America their biggest hit, surprisingly. But it just, this is a great 2 CD collection. Like I said, I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up eventually to see if a quick one was actually issued in this format, expanded. Great album at number 4. Number 4? Yeah, number 4. My 4th favorite Who album from 1967, Who Sellout. Another double album. This definitely has filler, but it also has killer. So, and it ranks a little higher. It always has for me. Even though this story is just so bizarre, there are videos on YouTube that try to explain the story of Tommy. And it's bizarre. It's weird. It's weird. And the music is great. There's some filler on here, but I think this is great. Some people consider this the first rock opera. I don't know about that, but it's a great album by The Who. Who and Tommy, my 3rd favorite. My 2nd favorite Who album, we're going to go right back to the beginning. I just think, even though there's some covers on this and stuff, I just think they came out of the gates on fire and angry, and just everything that made The Who, or most everything that made The Who was on here. Young, hungry, vicious, violent, great, beautiful rock and roll. This is another one of those deluxe expanded deals, and this is fantastic. On both of the ones that I have, the extra bonus stuff is just fantastic on these. But this is such a great debut by The Who. 1966. All right. My favorite album by The Who has always been my favorite album by The Who. It always will be my favorite album by The Who. There's nothing that's going to change that. Nothing's going to shake that. And I think a lot of people, even though this is the obvious Still, most people are like, okay, yeah, we're not going to argue with this. Who's next? Come on, people. This is the best album Who ever made. Yes, plenty of stuff on here is overplayed on the radio. Yes, you're probably sick of Baba O'Reilly or Won't Get Fooled Again or Behind Blue Eyes. You know, but come on, this for me and for a lot of other people, this is it. This is the shits for the Who. 1971. This has got a few extra. Yeah, it's got a few extra bonus tracks on this particular disc. Uh, Fantastic. My favorite Who album. Who's next? Like I said, oops, put this over here. Why not? Like I said, if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. This is just my personal take on this stuff. Let us know down in the comments what you think. Okay, there's no right or wrong answers. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. You're not right. You're not wrong. It's just little engagements here. Uh, while you're at it, if you could like and subscribe. I know I'm not pumping out a lot of videos. I'm not like some of the other channels that are doing 3 or 4 or 5 videos a week or whatever. I get them out when I can. And I do appreciate each and every one of you who watch. I really, really do. But if you can like and subscribe, it would be wonderful to help the channel grow. Alrighty. Until next time, everybody. Peace and love.